Hi, this is Professor Russo, and I wanted to give everyone some feedback on with the analysis plans overall in general as a class, some commonalities, along with some tools that I think will help you think about how to move forward into the design plan, as well as making sure that the feedback was incorporated from the analysis plan. A number of the groups, if you go to the discussion board, I gave, feedbacks to all of them, like where so I didn't reply to each individual user, but rather to the group, because a lot of what I was seeing is very typical to new designers and new thinkers about design. And what I noticed really comes into this section, the performance assessment, where many people had a little bit of difficulty completing it. It's not something that's K-12 because we get the curriculum already defined for us, but it is something that if you're going to do any type of instructional design is really important to master and consider. And then in particular, so looking at the actual performance in terms of, the ABCD, who your audience is, what behavior are you looking to change, increase, decrease, adapt, and then under what conditions, i.e. in the classroom, in a workshop, on their own, that type of thing, and to what degree. That's fairly straightforward as far as writing objectives, but it is important to be clear about what you're really looking for from them. Except, again, that's guiding your overall, I'm sorry, I'm talking about the desired performance when you're writing that up. That's what's guiding your overall design plan. The actual performance is what's going on now. And again, that's fairly straightforward, except perhaps for the format being new to some people. But the primary causes, this is where I noticed a lot of people were fairly surface on looking at the cause or made, some generalizations or assumptions. And this is really where getting this right is what will make or break whatever it is you're designing, because it's the underlying motivation. So related to that, I want to show you a statistic that I looked up just now in terms of a lot of people, when they're looking at teachers and being able to adopt technology, a lot of people assume it comes from lack of knowledge, lack of ability, things like that. And I wanted to show this because if you look at the age demographics in Facebook, teachers typically are over 24, so the 25 to 34, that's the highest user group of Facebook. 35 to 54 is the highest, followed by the 25 to 34, and even the 55 plus. So in terms of people being able to master, use, and share pictures, post, all kinds of different things, everyone's doing it. So that's really not the question or the problem on why people do not tend to do what it is with technology that we want them to do inside of the schools. One really good example for you to look through is from IDEO and looking at this redesign program that they did, because they were having problems with the school lunches and they knew that the students needed more lunch, and I didn't realize I scrolled all the way to the top there, to the bottom. So they went through and did the design stats because they knew people needed a better lunch, but what was the problem? And what they found was actually pretty surprising, because it wasn't about the money and it wasn't about the food. It was about the way the actual cafeteria was designed. So you can scroll through it, but it actually goes through all the different statistics, who qualifies, who doesn't, things like that. But they went further than that into the user analysis and actually found what the real problems were. They also found that there was a difference in the problem in between elementary, middle, and high school. But again, they did this through drilling down to the different users. And you can scroll down through this website and it goes through. You can click out to other different things and it will give you all the data of how they figured all these things out. By comparison, or another way of looking at this, I want to show, here's Khan Academy. So again, learning about technology, learning how to do things, no matter what you're teaching, it's all here. Khan Academy is typically one that people refer students to for extra help, but yet there's still something missing, typically. Most people do not find this sufficient. If they did, teachers wouldn't be needed at all, college professors, none of us. but there's something missing in this. So it's not even enough to have something available. It is looking at what makes people click through it, motivate, do the next thing, follow through. So with that said, here's an oldie but goodie. I just found out from my EDT370 undergraduate students that students are still using this. I thought it was completely over. But this is Webkinz. Again, something little kids use. But I bring this up because this is a typical site. They're the students who use it, they're addicted to it. You've got this big button play, very simple, user-friendly. But if you look at, they need our help. Oh, feel sorry for us. Help us out. Help the warm, fuzzy creatures. Here's another emotional appeal. I love Webkinz World, and they're all happy. You've got over here, oh, we can help, on the left side was helping the animal. Here is us being happy, but over here is helping the world. You've got, you do have all the other things, privacy up there. Take a tour, so you don't have to make a commitment. You can do other languages. And then down here, it's got, again, other links to other features. But there's a lot, so it's very learner-directed. But again, it's appealing to, through emotion. It's all about being fun. It's all about being happy. And it's all about helping either the animals or the environment. And none of this is actually real, but people like it. Here's another one, just to give you a difference in adult learners, War of the Worlds. Again, one of the most famous gaming systems or multiplayer gaming systems. Very simple entry point. People don't go into this for fun or happiness. You can look at it, they go in to kill things. It's a war. Very simplistic. You pick from 3 things, but again, left menu bar on the left-hand side, so the user still has choice, which is a big thing, whether it's a young learner or old learner. So again, just looking through in the work that you're doing, making sure that you really analyzed what is the actual problem or concern, what's preventing them, because it's not skill, it's not intelligence, it's not things not being available on the web. It is something else that causes teachers or our peers or our students not to choose what we want them to do. Looking forward to the design plan that you'll be working on over the next 2 weeks is, first you'll want to go back and really be looking at what you did in the previous, and then looking at what's going on for the design plan. And I just want to, put here where it says you can draw diagrams, table, feature, spreadsheet. A lot of this is going to be whatever tool you're used to using or want to use. So that's something in the Digo account. I have, I shared those links to some of the outliners for the instructional design tools. Balsamic is a wireframer. Obviously, screener and screencasting. So those are some different things that might help you figure out your wireframe. Gamifying Moodle, you can do that. But as far as packaging your prototype, as it really talks about in the book, I want to make sure that you don't spend a lot of time going for perfection. In iterative design, you want to just make enough of the idea so that people can figure out where you're going with it before you commit time and resources. So the last site I'm going to share is just, again, this is for the undergraduate class, but it's something called a nonlinear presentation. And in Google Slides, you can also do this in PowerPoint. It's a really good way just to kind of basically fake a website without having to have all the coding and everything else in the back. You can just, you add shapes and add the text boxes and the words, and it will hyperlink in between all the different slides. So you can click on any one of these and it will go just like we did in the class portrait, where I kept adding slides and we could link between. You can have something like this where, you can add all the different links. And again, you're really being able to, within Google Slides, fake creating a website with no coding needed. So that is, again, some of the feedback I wanted to give as you move forward. Be very conscious of working with your group, and again, getting a lot of feedback. At this point, it's more important to get feedback and to review and revise than it is to consider that you would have something perfect. Thank you.